Well, hello, my friends. Welcome to Image Lives, where you're worthy, you're blessed, and you are a creator. That's right. You're worthy, you're blessed, and you are a creator. Hello, I'm Brother Charles, your host, and we have another fantastic topic for discussion. But before we get into our discussion, let me say this to you. If today is the day that you arrived upon the planet, let me say this to you. A happy birthday to you. That's right. Happy birthday to you. Why? Because you are somebody. That's right. God can make it jump. You are somebody. Don't ever buy into the concept or ideology that you're inferior to anybody or that you're not good enough for this and that. You are somebody. God can make any jump. And so give yourself the best. You deserve the best. So again, welcome to Endless Lives, where you're worthy, you're blessed, and you are a creator. And if this is the day that you arrived upon the planet, happy birthday to you. That's right. Happy birthday to you. Because God didn't make any jump. On this particular program, we have topics of discussion that we like to bring fantastic topics to you. And today is no different. We have another fantastic topic for discussion. And we like to build our discussion on biblical principles and truths. So therefore, today is no different. We have another fantastic topic for discussion for you today. And of course, our topic for discussion today is one that we're going to do something today. We're going to do something. We're going to do something that we don't normally do, but we're going to uncover. We're going to uncover your real enemy. That's right. That's our topic for discussion today. Recognizing your true enemy. Recognizing your true enemy. Do you know who your enemies are? Do you know who your true enemy is? Well, we're going to uncover that for you today. So you stay with us. We're going to build our discussion upon this parable that Jesus taught in the New Testament in the Gospel of Matthew, Matthew 7th chapter, in the 24th through the 27th verses. It deals with two men, two individuals that were building their houses. And one built his house upon the rock, and the other built his upon the sand. And of course, both of these structures had one thing in common. They both were in the storm. One survived and one didn't. And it depends upon the substance that one was built, whereas the other was not built upon that particular substance. Now, of course, now these illustrations are not just in terms of physical structure, but they're dealing with you and your life, what you're building your life upon. The principles that you build your life upon will determine how you're going to be in the midst of adversities and storms, because they do come. Adversity comes at all levels. It doesn't make any difference who you are. Adversity is going to come. In other words, you're going to have some storms in your life. So this is what we're going to look at. Who our true enemies are. Who is your true enemy? We're going to uncover that for you today. We're going to uncover that. Whereas Jesus tells about how one man built his house upon the rock and the other built his upon the sand. We're going to uncover who your true enemy really is. And you're going to be surprised because it's not what you think it is. It's not who you think it is. We're going to discover who your true enemy is. And that, my friends, is going to be something that you probably knew or didn't know. But we're going to reveal that to you, who your true enemy is. Before we get into that particular discussion, I want to share a little topic with you about 10 foolish men. 10 foolish men. Of course, you know about the parable of the Bible about the 10 virgins, but this is about the 10 foolish men. 10 foolish men were on their way on a journey, as this story is told in Maharaji, and Maharaji shares this with some of his disciples, actually, because they obtained self-actualization, and he tells them this story to them about these 10 foolish men. These 10 foolish men, they were on their way to a journey, and they came upon a river, so they had to cross this stream, this river. And so as they crossed, 10 of them, they got on the other side, and they decided to count. One decided to count, see if everybody was there. And so he counted, and he counted 9. He said, I see but 9. And all the guys, Oh, well, did you do it right? He said, no. So the other guy counted. He counted 9 also. So, oh, something's wrong here. He said, all counted 9. But what happened was that he forgot to include himself. And so he said, well, one of us must have got grounded. Notice we said 10 foolish men. And so they began, one was very emotional. He started weeping and crying. Oh my goodness, one of us has gotten lost, one of us got drowned. A wayfarer was coming along. He saw him. He said, what's going on? What's wrong? And they told him. He said, oh, well, I'll tell you what. I'll see if I can help you. Let's stand up here and see. So he said, I'll give each person a blow. So we're going to count each one. Each one that we count, you count yourself, and I'll give you a blow on that. He said, okay. So they all counted themselves, and they ended up, it was 10. And they were all relieved. They was always so glad they were all relieved. So they said, well, thank you for taking us away from that grief that we were in, because we thought one of us had got grounded. And so the guy goes on. Now, the question that comes about in this particular situation was, what was the cause of that grief? And so these guys, they thought one of them had got grounded. But in all actuality, no one had got grounded. So let's see who the real enemy in this particular situation is. The real enemy in this particular situation, my friend, the real enemy was their ignorance. That's right. The real enemy was their ignorance. They were ignorant to the fact that they weren't counting right, but the real enemy was their ignorance. They were supposing that one of them had got drowned. So here again, all your fears and limitations come out of ignorance. That's your real enemy. That's your true enemy, is ignorance. And so when you see it, you have to understand how to recognize ignorance, my friend, because that's what you're dealing with. You're not dealing with another human being. You're dealing with the ignorance that's in that person, see. And that's what makes it so intriguing, that you and I have to understand that you don't hate anybody. You are coming across an individual that proclaims hatred and bigotry on racial standards and economic standards and all of that stuff. You understand that these individuals are coming from a place of ignorance. You're dealing with their ignorance. So anytime you and I have to come across that type of situation, we understand that we're dealing with ignorance. Therefore, you don't let it upset you. See, you don't let it upset you. So when you're dealing with ignorance, you understand they're coming from a place of darkness. So all the limitations that you put on yourself and all the fears that you come, 9 times out of 10, it's just coming out of your own superstitions and ignorance. That's so intriguing, isn't it? Here we have ignorance as one of our main enemies. It's your ignorance, my friend. That's what you're dealing with, you see. So don't put these limitations upon you. Say, oh, I'm not good enough for that. I can't do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You see, but your ignorance is going to tell you, no, you can't do it. You're not good enough. Why? Because it's your ignorance that you're dealing with. So let's let it sit. All the misery and pain, all this evolves out of ignorance. Nothing's really wrong with you, but you thought something was, didn't you? Yeah, that came from a state of ignorance, my friend. So once you begin to come into truth, now one of the main destroyers of ignorance is knowledge. When you pursue knowledge, you alleviate ignorance. When you pursue knowledge, you are on the right path for freedom. Now, but ignorance will keep you enslaved. It will keep you bound. See, just ignorance. There's a thing called paradigm shift. Paradigm shift is no more than just the way you're thinking different. That's all. And so when you pursue knowledge, your perception is going to become clearer. If you remain in ignorance, your perception will stay cloudy, and you will never get the true facts because you come from a state of ignorance. It's very important that you and I understand how powerful we are. We were created in the image of God. See, you don't deal with the color of a person's skin. You don't deal with their hair. You don't deal with their cars and houses. You don't deal with that. You're going to be dealing with his or her level of understanding. And that's what's going to be so intriguing. So your true enemies are the limitations that are coming upon you from ignorance. That, my friend, is your true. That is your true enemy. Ignorance. I told you we are going to reveal something that was here that you didn't know. And of course you said, oh, I didn't realize it. Yeah, but it's true. So, my friends, from now on, don't hate people. Just understand that they come from a state of ignorance. Until next time, my friends, let me say this here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules for tuning in. Until next time, you be blessed. Until now, may love, joy, peace, and happiness forever be with you as we walk upon this good earth that God has given us. Give us a thumbs up on this and tell someone else about this program. And remember, your real enemy is ignorance. Until next time, you be blessed, my friend.